What's up? What's up? Yeah, man. Happy Super Tuesday. Happy Super Tuesday. Hey. There's Conte in the house. What's up? Found a new beat. I found a new beat that I like. I can dig it. Can you dig it? Yes, I can. Good morning. Vinny DiMartini, good morning. Nathan Purvis, good morning. Sterling Price, everybody is wide awake. Happy Super Tuesday to you guys, man. It's like, so it's Super Tuesday. The polls are open. It's 8:40 here in New York time. And get out there and vote. California, Utah, Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, Virginia, Minnesota, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Maine. All wide open, all 14 states. So cover a couple of two subjects today. The big Chris Mathews stir-up. You saw the big Chris Mathews stir-up. He retired. The old crusty hardball guy on MSNBC, he finally threw in the towel. Did it publicly. First, he called Sanders, compared Bernie Sanders to Hitler. Bernie Sanders' win in Nevada was the equivalent of watching Nazi Germany overthrow France. And then he backpedaled. He walked it back and apologized publicly, and then he retired. But I'm going to tell you something that I discovered just in watching it, that I think Chris Mathews was threatened. It seems if you line up all the way things happen, the series of events, it looks like Chris Mathews was put in a room and said, "Listen, we have this woman down the hall who said you grabbed her ass, and there's this other lady that says you bumped into her tit, right? And we think that you should retire because it's just time to go. You've been at it for 20 years." And I think that's what the deal was. The deal was, take your retirement now, or we will smear you. We will do the snowflake smear on you and drive you out the door. Do I have evidence of it? Well, kind of. I have it in his own words. Do I have inside evidence that that's what MSNBC was saying in the room? No, but a preponderance of the circumstantial evidence points to the fact that Chris Mathews suddenly he's had a big mouth for 20 years, and all of a sudden he mentions, out of his mouth comes something about inappropriateness with women. And then he retires. But first, just a few days earlier, he's attacking Bernie Sanders as being a Nazi sympathizer. Now, that's okay. MSNBC hates Bernie Sanders. We know that. It's the corporate media bashing Sanders. But that went a little too far. And they're going to need those progressive kids, as they think of them, to get behind Joe Biden, the shit sandwich, who it looks like now, and I'll say this, it looks like he's going to take on Elizabeth Warren. There's no other explanation for the Elizabeth Warren thing. No other explanation for why Elizabeth Warren is hanging in there other than to bash Bernie, try to take as much of the progressive part of the party, right, and put it in her column. And then when Bernie fails, they're going to smear Bernie Sanders as a Russian operative. That's pretty much a given. So the fix is in for Bernie, and it's getting severe now. A lot is changing. Pete Buttigieg took on Amy Klobuchar. Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar both have endorsed Joe Biden. That's ugly. That's ugly. Does it have any weight? Not in the literal sense, but in the rip-off sense, in the sense of the fix is in. It manufactures consent to say that, see, everybody went with Biden. Everybody went with Biden, right? And the fake polls are now reflecting that fix. So I'm basing that the fix is now in for Bernie, and don't be surprised what happens today, right? All of a sudden, Bernie Sanders, and when you tally in early voting in Texas and California, it's almost impossible that overnight the whole scenario could change because Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar drop out. Suddenly, the shit sandwich of Joe Biden rises to a piece of gold. It doesn't happen that way. That's not how it happens in the real world. It only happens in a rigged primary. So I'm going to tell you about that. Now, am I disappointed? Am I shocked? Not really. It's expected, but that's what it is. So good morning in the chats. Good morning. Wait for some people to get here. Marcus Conte reporting on the latest stuff. So those are the things I want to talk about. I want to get through the Chris Mathews stuff. We'll look at all the clips. I've got Chris Mathews clips. I got the Pete Buttigieg clip when he endorses, the Amy Klobuchar clip. A little bit of Bernie Sanders reaching out to the Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar people, welcoming them in. Again, do endorsements matter? Do endorsements really have any influence? I don't think they do. Certainly not the day before an election. But again, it is manufacturing consent. We're dealing with the most corrupt political, machine in the history of modern politics. This is the Democratic Party. So, are they willing to let Bernie Sanders run away with this election? Fucking hell no, man. Hell no. They're going to stop him by trick or treat, right? They're going to stop him. They're going to try to stop him. Sadly, but that's what's going on. So let's jump in. Let's look at, let's see what we got here. So here's the Super Tuesday. So imagine that, right? In 2016, I feel like it's warp speed now, right? In 2016, I wasn't doing this, by the way. I was just some regular guy. I was a garbage guy. I wrote tickets for sanitation in the city. I was playing guitar after I got fired. I was playing guitar on the subway, singing songs to the people passing by, making a living, sort of. And and now we're talking about and I had seen the ripoff then, and it inspired me to do this. And now it's like, wow, 2020 already. And we're sitting here on Super Tuesday, about to watch the results pour in. It's going to be a late night because California is obviously Pacific time, and the polls in California close at 9. So don't really expect California, Utah, Colorado, maybe those two, but certainly not California with 415 delegates. Don't expect California to come in. Maybe not even tonight because of the shenanigans, because of the bullshit that they're going to pull in California and try to deny Sanders the win. Right. That's what's going on, right? This is the big enchilada right here. It's 30% of the vote. It's 30%, man. Busking. 5,000 will be defrauded of vote. Said 500,000 will be defrauded of their vote, says Zoax. Yeah, there's definitely going to be, vote a lot. I suspect that this is going to be the candid move because there were no polls. I'll show you the latest polls, and I'll tell you why I know the fix is in. It's based right here on the polls. See, the fake polls, this is all of a sudden today. Look at this. Tuesday, March 3rd, this organization, I bet you if you did a deep dive into Data for Progress, somebody like Bloomberg paid him $1 million or $2 million or $5 million to fudge it. All of a sudden now, Biden is 2 points ahead. Why? Because fucking Beto O'Rourke got on the stage. Beto O'Rourke, you remember that guy? He's out there now in Texas saying Joe Biden. Joe Biden, don't forget, Joe Biden a week ago was done. Now all of a sudden he's resurrected, right? It's such shady, shitty politics, right? The object of the Democrats is to put all of what they consider moderate behind Biden, right? They did it by force. They did it by who knows what kind of deal the little snake, Pete Buttigieg, what kind of deal he got. He didn't just roll over and say, yeah, I think Joe Biden is the winner. No, it's a deal. He got a deal. Whether they're going to plug him in 2024 if Biden fails, because Biden is certainly going to fail, especially in light of the cheating that I believe we're about to see. I don't want to be negative about it. I think Bernie is, get out there, vote, pay attention, go to your polling places, talk to people. All right, but this is a little scary right here because now they got California. Only Sanders was winning they had him up by almost 19, 20 points, 24 points, slaughtering Biden. Now all of a sudden Biden he's only down by 7. Now they got Biden ahead in Texas. That's bullshit. Bloomberg 20. Minnesota, Sanders is now winning. All right, and that's rightfully so because it shows that Amy Klobuchar has no weight. In Minnesota, more weight in Minnesota is Ilhan Omar, who's supporting Bernie Sanders, and Keith Ellison, who's the Attorney General in Minnesota. So to say that Amy Klobuchar has more weight than the combined punch of Ilhan Omar and Keith Ellison in Minnesota is naive. So Bernie was supposed to win that. Biden 20 points ahead in Virginia and 27 points in North Carolina. You just got to say to yourself, the fix is in, right? The polls, all of the rigging overnight, everything, all of a sudden, everything has changed. All of a sudden, the fake polls, the fake media is all spinning it. They got Bernie Sanders 41 points ahead in Vermont, of course. Now they've got Warren. All of a sudden, Warren is resurrected as well to win Massachusetts. Sanders 19 points ahead in Maine, 9 points ahead in Maine. Now all of a sudden we've got Southern the day before, now all of a sudden there's one organization, Data for Progress. We have polling in Tennessee, Biden 7. Alabama, Biden 25. Colorado, Sanders 11. Arkansas, Biden 13. Oklahoma, Biden 7. It's just a total fucking fix. Right? We all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they waited for the last moment to fudge some numbers. So I don't know who Data for Progress is, but those are the fake polls. So good morning in the chat. Don't be a dick. I know nobody wants to be a dick anymore. That's getting old. And so what's up, man? Stock up, people. Coronavirus, no joke. New York will see thousands of cases. I got my mask. I know. People don't get frazzled in the city that often. That by much, right? And you got to be careful. You do the elbow shake. You don't shake anybody's hand. If you're out in public, you should definitely mask up. All right, mask up. Don't shake anybody's hand. It's not disrespectful. Just give them an elbow pump, or you give them the. I saw now people they're doing the foot pump where you like you do a fist pump, except you do it with your foot. Your foot pump, which is pretty cool, right? Maybe your foot pump, so you don't get any germs on your hands, man. And wear that shit, man. Carry that shit around with you, man. That fucking shit that, Pyrex or Purex or fucking, hand lotion. The hand stuff with the alcohol in it, so it kills the germs on contact. So let's review why are we here for? Why did I want to make one of the centerpieces, the Chris Mathews, getting forced out? Because it shows that the tables are turning, and they're turning fast. A lot of money is being thrown around. They're not fucking around anymore. They want one message, one unified message. The Democratic Party, along with the corrupt media, one unified message behind Joe Biden. Now, I imagine Chris Mathews is already on the record saying that Joe Biden is a shit sandwich and that Bernie Sanders is running away with it. They all are. Chuck Todd even said it after Nevada, that the writing is on the wall, that the people, based on the preliminary, primaries, Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina, that the people are clearly with Sanders. So this guy's got to go, right? So here's what he said about Bernie Sanders. They've been playing only the clip where he references Bernie Sanders being the equivalent of Hitler overthrowing the French in World War II. That's how severe it is that Bernie Sanders is winning. But let's listen to the whole exchange, the whole 2-minute exchange that leads up to it. I like to look at the lead up, keep it in context. So here's Chris Mathews on MSNBC about 2 weeks ago, right while he's watching the results. He's sitting there watching Nevada fall to Bernie Sanders. and he makes the reference.
What is going on here, and is this any way to pick a nominee?
Well, I don't think so, but it is the way we're picking this one, and it looks like Bernie Sanders is hard to beat right now. I'm with Carville all the way in terms of the dangers of what lies ahead in November. I'm very much aware of them. They're sitting on so much Oppo research on Bernie, what he said in the past about world affairs, how far left he is. I'm not sure how far left he is, but they're going to make the most of that in terms of world politics. They're going to kill him. But I think it's a little late to stop him, and I think that's the problem.
So that's a Chris Mathews revelation that they're going to smear Bernie Sanders with the Russia scare. Is that what's going to happen? Absolutely, absolutely. The strategy of mainstream media is to smear Bernie Sanders with the socialist smear, because that's what Trump is going to use. That's what they think Trump is going to use, but Trump's not going to. Trump is hiding his cards, but the corrupt media is getting out in front of the Russia smear to paint Bernie Sanders as a Russian spy. They tried it, and it failed right before Nevada. Remember, they said, oh, the Russians they favor Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. Remember they said that, and then they walked it back. I got the clip where they walk it back as well. So here's Chris Mathews throwing up the flare that Bernie Sanders can't win because of something Russia-related.
By the way, if you look at the pattern, it's dynamic. Bernie won the popular vote in Iowa. He won it again in New Hampshire. It looks like he's going to win it here when they finally get a vote. Bernie's been winning consistently, and I think it's mathematically understandable. Every time we poll, every time Steve and everybody polls, 2/3 of the Democratic vote, 2/3 of people who call themselves Democrats are either liberal or very liberal. All Bernie ever had to do, and he's done it beautifully, is get a majority of that, and he's up to the mid-30s. If you get half of 67, you're into the mid-30s. And
that's a great assessment, right? And that's an honest assessment. That's why Chris Mathews is out the door, because he's actually being honest.
That's where he's gotten it a little better. Biden, his only prayer was to consolidate the third of the vote that's moderate and conservative. And he got nowhere near clearing that field. Nowhere near. That's split up four ways now. And so with new people coming in, DeVal Patrick came in, he didn't make it. Bloomberg is in. He's probably going to survive a bit longer because of his money. But that field wasn't cleared. The only way Biden could win in that 1/3 of the vote that's either moderate or conservative is to sweep it. He got nowhere near. Bernie, on the other hand, did his job. He got more than a majority of that 67%. That is the name of the game. It is pretty much over unless that changes. I was reading last night.
And that is the kiss of death for Chris Mathews. That's the real kiss of death, because Chris Mathews actually knows against his wishes that Bernie Sanders is the front runner and is winning over the mass majority of the people. And that's now on the record, right? I mean, is it safe to say that that's what he's saying? That he believes Sanders is the clear winner, and now he makes the analogy. He makes the comparison to Nazi Germany, Hitler.
Hi, Brian. I know you're a history guy too. I'm reading last night about the fall of France in the summer of 1940, and the general Renault calls up Churchill and says, "It's over." And Churchill said, "How can it be? You got the greatest army in Europe. How can it be over?" He said, "It's over." So I had that suppressed feeling. I can't be as wild as Carville, but he is damn smart, and I think he's damn right on this one. Joy.
So there you go. There's Chris Mathews and James Carville saying that it's over, that Sanders has won over the people. And now all of a sudden we're expected to believe overnight everything has changed because two shit sandwiches drop out. Pete Nobody, Mayor Pete Nobody, and Shaky Nobody Amy Klobuchar drop out and resurrect, literally take a piece of shit and hold it up and say, he's my president, I'm behind him. And we're expected to believe that suddenly, overnight, the entire consciousness has changed in terms of the polling, in terms of the mainstream media spin, in terms of how people are actually going to vote. No, it's manufacturing the consent to rig the fucking machines, in my view, so far. So that's Chris Mathews. That's the Bernie smear, the revelation that Sanders is winning. It's the equivalent of France falling to the Germans. How could you possibly have fallen? And Chris Mathews is saying it's over. It's over. Is he accurate in that assessment? I think he is. He was at the moment. Yes. And for that he had to do this.
Before getting into tonight's news, I want to say something quite important and personal. As I watched the one-sided results of Saturday's Democratic caucus in Nevada, I reached for an historical analogy and used a bad one. I was wrong to refer to an event from the last days, or actually the first days of World War II. Senator Sanders, I'm sorry for comparing anything from that tragic era in which so many suffered, especially the Jewish people, to an electoral result in which you were the well-deserved winner. This is going to be a hard-fought, heated campaign of ideas. In the days and weeks and months ahead, I will strive to do a better job myself of elevating the political discussion. Congratulations, by the way, to you, Senator Sanders, and to your supporters on a tremendous win down in Nevada.
Now, again, he's being honest. There he is being honest again, saying that and supporting, being sympathetic to Bernie Sanders, the devout socialist, the guy who's going to destroy the country and all this stuff. And he's just socialism. He's going to throw us back into the Stone Age, right? And here's Chris Mathews again, basically supporting Sanders, delivering an apology. You can't do this shit, right? There's no, honesty? You want to be fucking honest? Chris Mathews is not, he's to some degree he's honest, but he's politically off. I mean, by a mile. And I think he even acknowledges it in his going out statement. So this is big. This is a representation of what you should expect the mainstream media people, like, for example, Rachel Maddow. If she suddenly has a change of heart and thinks Bernie Sanders is the right candidate, this is what you can face. Right? What am I talking about? What is exactly he's going to face? He's going to face a smear campaign. He's going to face humiliation and legal battles, lawsuits, fraudulent fake lawsuits launched at your person, right? Smear, go out and disgrace, and we're going to go after the $20 million you have in the bank because fuck you, right? We're in charge, right? That's what they're going to do because we can manufacture that kind of slime. Now listen carefully to what he says. Right? Chris Mathews announces his retirement. Watch this.
Let me start with my headline tonight. I'm retiring. This is the last hardball on MSNBC. And obviously, this isn't for lack of interest in politics. As you can tell, I've loved every minute of my 20 years as host of Hardball. Every morning I read the papers and I'm gung-ho to get to work. Not many people have had this privilege. I love working with my producers and the discussions we have over how to report the news. And I love having this connection with you, the good people who watch. I've learned who you are, bumping into you on the sidewalk or waiting at an airport and saying...
Bumped into you on a sidewalk and so there he is. There he is basically bowing out. That's the good part, right? He says, I'm done. I'm retiring. And then he goes on to say, well, I might have bumped into you in the airport and on the street. Well, what about reporting actually on the street? What about actually going out into the community and asking people what the fuck they think? That's also very revealing because these people don't do it anymore. They don't look out the window and find out what people are thinking. They don't go to a Bernie rally and stand in the middle of it and say, wow, this is real. Talk to some people. Don't talk to the bubble in the Upper West Side of Manhattan over sipping cosmopolitans in the lesbian bar with Rachel Maddow. That's not where you find out what people are thinking. In the limousine on your way to MSNBC, talking to the limousine driver. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Jerkoff. Yes, Mr. Chris Jerkoff Mathews. It's fucking, come on, man. It's very revealing, too, that he lost touch with the people.
Hello. You're like me. I hear it from your kids and grandchildren who say, my dad loves you, or my grandmother loves you, or my husband watched it till the end. Well, after a conversation with MSNBC, I decided tonight will be my last hardball, so let me tell you why.
Let's hear why. Right? So he confirms that this is his last hardball. Goodbye, Chris. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Nobody really gives a shit about what you're saying anymore. But thank you for your service, and let's find out why.
The younger generations out there are ready to take the reins. We see them in politics, in the media, in fighting for their causes. They are improving the workplace. We're talking here about better standards than we grew up with, fair standards. A lot of it has to do with how we talk to each other.
That's all very truthful. That's from the heart. He had an awakening. He had an understanding that there is a uprising in this country of the young people that are just fed up with the bullshit. They're fed up being second-class citizens. It used to be by race. Now it's by financial. It's race war. It's class warfare, is what he's putting his finger on. He's saying that the lower class is the young people trying to make it in this country, which is really unprecedented, really.
Compliments on a woman's appearance that some men, including me, might have once incorrectly thought were okay. Including me.
All right, so here's where all of a sudden the whole conversation changes, and here's where he gets threatened. My view is that Chris Mathews, I said it before, I'll say it again. He walked into the MSNBC meeting that they set up for him, and they basically told him. They basically presented with probably his lawyer there and their lawyers there, and they presented a bunch of frivolous, anonymous arguments about women that Chris Mathews may or may not have come in contact with. Maybe an elbow tit here, or a pat on the ass there, or a drunken joke. Right? After 20 years, come on, you know how many? It's human interaction. You're grinding in a bar. It's late at night. You're in the airport. You say something that's off kilter. Any of that can be, in snowflake world, perceived as sexual harassment or sexual misconduct or sexual assault. Right? That's what Chris Mathews was about to be.
Correctly thought were okay. We're never okay. Not then, and certainly not today. And for making such comments in the past, I'm sorry. I'm very proud of the work I've...
To step down now, or we'll finish you off.
Author. I'm working on another book. I'll continue to write and talk about politics and cheer on my producers and crew here in Washington and New York and my MSNBC colleagues. They will continue to produce great journalism in the years ahead. And for those of you who have gotten into the habit of watching Hardball every night, I hope you're going to miss me, because I'm going to miss you. But remembering Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca, we'll always have Hardball. So let's not say goodbye, but till we meet again.
Now let's say goodbye. So he's out. That's all I wanted to. I wanted to use the Chris Mathews example because it shows how truthful commentary, which he was truthful. You would never hear, Rachel Maddow say that Bernie Sanders is winning. She's saying that the Russians are. If he is winning, it's the Russians helping him. And I think his moment of clarity, his moment of honesty, and his to him, he's honest. He actually saw Hitler in Bernie Sanders' victory in Nevada. And that is just so off and so way out there. But it was honest. He really believed it. I don't think James Carville believes it. I think James Carville's a total hack. And is motivated by working on behalf of the billionaire class. But I think that Chris Mathews may have had a moment of clarity, and that's why he's gone. So his friend Lee Camp spinning. I forgot what he was going to say. Let's just watch a second and let's see what he says. I forgot.
Level. We've all been on the receiving end of the.
Oh, right. This is the Russia smear. So, as Chris Mathews is saying this stuff, that the Russians, that not the Russians, the Hitler smear, and it's crazy too. It's so convoluted because the Russians were our allies in World War II. The Russians were fighting Germany too, right? And then Churchill and the U.S. president and the Russian guy, they split up Europe. You remember, it was Russia, England, and U.S. were allies. So to say that Bernie Sanders is somehow is he Russian? But there was a German. He was conquering. It doesn't even make sense. They were all allies at the point. Everybody was fighting Germany. But here's Sleepy Chuck Todd, Sleepy-eyed Chuck, defending Chris Mathews' comments that Bernie Sanders' people are the equivalent, the supporters are the equivalent of the brown shirts, the Nazis.
On the receiving end of the Bernie online brigade. And here's what he says. He says, no.
MSNBC has lost
Let's listen to it in its entirety, the whole comment.
their mind on that level.
We've all been on the receiving end of the Bernie online brigade. And here's.
We've all been on the receiving end of the online Bernie brigade. You mean honest people that are telling the truth about what's going on in the world, that got screwed in 2016 and are standing up for themselves? You mean those people? The online Bernie brigade?
That's what he says. He says, no other candidate has anything like this sort of digital brown shirt brigade. I mean,
brown shirt brigade. Brown shirt brigade was the Nazis. The Nazis. He's calling fucking Bernie Sanders people Nazis. The Jew, Bernie Sanders, who lost his grandparents in the Holocaust, his mother and father's generation in the Holocaust, is a Nazi?
except for Donald Trump. The question no one is asking is this: what if you can't win the presidency without an online mob?
Okay.
An online mob. That's what we are? Are we an online mob, or are we exercising our First Amendment rights of free speech and freedom of the press? Now we're a mob, and we have to be a mob. You have to deal with. You got to deal with and correct their behavior using stuff, right?
So Bernie Sanders supporters are like the Nazi brown shirts. I mean, it makes sense. If Bernie Sanders is Hitler, as MSNBC has made clear, then his followers are the Nazi soldiers. I don't understand why people are upset about this. It's just pure logic. So if our craptastic corporate media is furious Bernie Sanders is winning, then I think we all know what happens next. I think we all know what time it is.
Now, what time is it? What time is it, Lee? I know what time it is. What time do you think it is, right? Now it's time, right? See, they smear, and now you remember in Nevada, the Russians are coming. Watch.
We're talking about this incredible new New York Times story breaking tomorrow morning. We got it tonight, which is the Russians are coming again. The Russians are into interfering in this election we're in right now.
The Russians are coming!
The Russians are coming. Remember in Nevada? I said it was fake. Right? It was total bullshit, right? The Russians are supporting Bernie Sanders. The Russians are supporting Trump. Where's the evidence? Oh, we heard. It's classified. The CIA, they were told. But there's no evidence, right?
They're already in their dog sleds bearing down on us right now, or whatever it is they use to commute. I don't know. Maybe they've reanimated those woolly mammoths they keep frozen in Siberia.
Just to address the comments, the idea that I somehow am surprised by any of this is bullshit. I'm not surprised by any of it. That's a juvenile it's a juvenile view to think that to talk about it as if there is some sort of what we're witnessing is Sanders inspiring the masses, 70% of the country rising up behind him, and having a corporate force suppress it. To point it out and to ride the storm and talk about it is not a surprise or a second class opinion, is what I'm trying to say. To stand on here's the other thing, right? You have commentators, pundits out there standing on the sidelines. You know who they are, and they're standing there pointing the finger, saying anybody who agrees with anything that Sanders is saying, all of the policies for the people, and we know what they are: universal single-payer health care, Medicare for all, college tuition free at city and state universities, decrease the military industrial complex, get money out of politics. All of these things are relevant, and necessary for the American people. And to somehow fight for those things is somehow a disgrace. and an embarrassment and a pompous pipe dream and a rabbit hole and something that'll never happen. Grow up and vote for fucking Trump. God damn it. I just don't jive with that thinking. Excuse me. You have to keep fighting. You have to keep pointing out the delusion. You have to stay with it, or where are we? Where are we? Then we're all just gaslit people. We just go along with it. Yes, sir. Punch me in the head. Hit me on the head with your rubber hammer, sir, and run around like idiots all day long. And yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Is that your solution? Vote for Trump, the orange psychopath, the fake populist who, I mean, has promised everything and delivered nothing. Right? Expectably has delivered nothing. Yeah. He makes fun of the fake news media. That's funny, but he's delivered nothing. Let's listen to Lee Camp. Sorry.
And now they're riding on their backs. We don't know. Whatever it is, it's horrifying. You probably recall last week that every outlet was running around saying Russia is trying to get Sanders elected, but also trying to get
That was 2 days before the Nevada caucus.
Trump elected. They're trying to get everyone elected in a grand show of democracy. But then 2 days later, what did we find out?
The U.S. doesn't yet have the evidence to actually conclude that Russia is interfering in the election.
What was that? You said it so quick in a longer report. Could you speak up?
The U.S. doesn't yet have the evidence to actually conclude that Russia is interfering in the election.
That's right on CNN. Great job, Lee Camp. Great job catching that clip, right?
Doesn't yet have the evidence.
No evidence. So they're running the smear without evidence. That was the whole premise of the argument, to derail Sanders before Nevada. They tried it and it failed. Will they try it again? Absolutely, they're going to try it again. Right? They're manufacturing the consent to push the shit sandwich Joe Biden across the finish line, to carry him, because the money is behind it. The money has always been behind Joe Biden. The show is over. The debate shows are now over. And this is the play. Smear Bernie Sanders as a Russian spy and fabricate the numbers to say that Joe Biden has consolidated with all of the losers. We put all the losers together, and all of the losers add up to Joe Biden winning, is the theory. And nobody in their right mind would possibly go to Bernie Sanders. And we'll leave Elizabeth Warren in the ring to chop up Bernie Sanders, the fake progressive Elizabeth Warren, Miss Liz, the liar, the Pocahontas. Leave her in the ring to take away from Bernie, to try to cut into Bernie's lead.
Any minute now, they're going to find the evidence. But in the meantime, we'll keep spraying toxic sludge out of our face holes. So CNN and the other outlets basically came out and said they've been lying for 2 straight days, but have no fear, no one expects anything less of them.
All right? So there you go, man. Great find, Lee Camp. Great find, Lee Camp. So that's the reality of what's going on right now, right? All of a sudden, 3 days ago, and this is all media stuff. This is not what you know it because you're watching the show and I'm telling you what's going on. But most people, in reality, most people are not hyper aware of what's going on in the world. You talk to most people and they don't know. They turn the TV on and now all of a sudden, they're going to the polling places and I think most people have decided, but a lot of people decide in the last hours. And I think that most people don't realize, as you're watching around the country, that early voting has already occurred. And that's a potential for vote flipping, where you can flip those absentee ballots. These are all primaries now. These are all dark machines. These are all, we saw it in Iowa where they tried to flip a caucus using an app. They actually tried to, we caught them vote flipping in certain counties in Iowa. So that's really what's going on right now, is that most people are low information. And if the election is now stolen on Super Tuesday, if we wake up tomorrow and Biden somehow is close to winning any states, winning half the states or some shit, you know it's a fix, right? If he sweeps the South, it's a total fix. Joe Biden has not spent any money or any time in any of these places leading up to this event. He's in Texas now, but what? One little rally with no people? It's all insiders. He's got Amy Klobuchar on the stage. We'll look at that. But I want you to listen to Bernie Sanders, which is rare. He rarely breaks out of his speech when he's doing his rallies. But here's Bernie Sanders. Zoax says, I heard that President Carter spoke with Pete Buttigieg before he dropped out. Have you heard that? I did hear that, but that's it. It's just a rumor. Yeah, I agree. In light of all this, Trump wins again. We know that. We know that. If the Bernie people suspect and detect cheating, they're going to drop. They're not going to support the other candidate. Joe Biden has no path to the nomination. He has no path to the nomination. That's the fact. Bernie Sanders will win. If Bernie Sanders is the nominee, he beats Trump because he takes all of his people with him. He takes all of the low information Democrats with him, and he pulls from the 40% of the independents in the middle of the country that come alive for something like this. Without any reason to get in the ring, they stay home, or they don't vote, or they vote against. They vote for Trump against the corrupt Democrats, just to the wrecking ball Trump. Look, Trump served his purpose. Trump was good for 4 years. Like, get the hell out of the way. That's what we want. We want Sanders in there. So here's Sanders reaching out to the Pete Buttigieg crowd and the Amy Klobuchar crowd.
Let me thank Eliane Farhat.
Yeah, Vinny, I'm gonna be in a public place. I don't want to give away the location because then other pundits will start going there. But there's a couple of watch parties around, that I found out about, and I'll probably stream live, try to talk to some of the Bernie tried and true as they watch the results come in. Maybe later do another stream, here. So yeah, I'll be live. I'll be live all night, probably starting around 6:30 Eastern time.
Let me thank Erica Schatzline. Let me thank Mayra Lopez. And let me thank one of the bravest people I know, your Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar.
See right there, that's a big one. Ilhan Omar just spoke before Bernie went on. Ilhan Omar is way more popular in Minnesota and she's been there the whole time plugging Bernie Sanders. She's way more popular than Shaky Amy. So if you want to weigh the endorsements, Ilhan Omar, who beat who won her against all odds, won a seat in Congress. And all of the people knocking on doors, all the young people knocking on doors and phone calling. If you want to compare that to what Amy Klobuchar has, which is nothing, then I would say that the endorsement of Ilhan Omar in Minnesota is way more powerful than anything Amy Klobuchar could have done.
You are very fortunate indeed to have a great congresswoman like Ilhan. Now, before I begin, I want to mention to you what I think all of you know, and they know that that your Senator Amy Klobuchar dropped out of the presidential race today. And I've known Amy for a very long time. We came into the Senate together in 2006, and she is one of the hardest workers that I know. I like Amy.
And yesterday, Pete Buttigieg dropped out of the race as well. And as you all know, Pete's campaign was an historic campaign and a brave campaign. He is the first openly gay candidate for president of the United States.
Whoop-de-doo.
And tonight, I want to open the door to Amy's supporters, to Pete's supporters. I know that there are political differences, but I also know that virtually all of Amy's support and Pete's support understand that we have got to move toward a government which believes in justice, not greed. And that our government must be based on principles of economic justice, social justice, racial justice, environmental justice. So to all of Amy and Pete's millions of supporters, the door is open. Come on in.
So there it is. So Bernie Sanders opens up the door, and as I said, Ilhan Omar was went on right before him, right? And I see the comments. It's not because she's Muslim. That's not. It's not. The young people don't see that. You see that. I see that. Maybe a different generation sees, a woman standing there with a headset on, but the young people don't see it that way. I got news for you. 30% of the country and 85% of Bernie Sanders supporters don't see it that way. They just see a young woman fighting for, immigrants, fighting for the poor and the working class of America. That's all they see. They don't see an Arab. They don't see a Muslim. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. That's my view of it. So here's Pete Buttigieg doing what he probably loves to do, which is bend over. So you could goof on the gays, don't goof on the Muslims, right? It's okay. So here's Pete Buttigieg bending over for Joe Biden. Let's listen.
When I ran for president, we made it clear that the whole idea was about rallying the country together to defeat Donald Trump and to win the era for the values that we share. And that was always a goal that was much bigger than me becoming president. And it is in the name of that very same goal that I'm delighted to endorse and support Joe Biden for president.
I like how his accent came down. Look at Joe. Joe coming up behind Pete Buttigieg. That's the photo op of the year. Look at that, man. That's Joe. Joe's got his hands on Pete Buttigieg. Let's watch again. Let's watch the approach. Oh, look how let's watch it in slow motion. Let's watch Joe Biden. Let's watch Joe Biden sneak up. Oops. Let's watch Joe Biden sneak up on Pete Buttigieg from behind. This is good. Oh, watch. Oh, Joe. Oh, that's too fast. I went the other way. Sorry. This is going to be good. Watch. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Watch. It's going to be good. Watch. Oh, Joe, I love you. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, I love you, baby. Oh, watch. Joe, put your hands on me. Oh, I feel your other member. That's two. What's that third thing? Is that your wallet? Oh, Joe. So I'm sorry, man. I digressed. Let's listen.
What we see right now is an opportunity, not just to meet that imperative of getting a new and better president, but of doing it with a leader who will practice that way of rallying people together with ideas that are big enough to unite the American people. Of all generations.
Ideas that are big enough to unite the American people. This guy is like, you know what Pete Buttigieg is? Pete Buttigieg, in retrospect, is just a guy. He watched a lot of videos of Obama. A lot of his talking points were Obama. His hand gestures. He's like a young white Obama. It was a strategy. He's a political actor. All right? Platitudes. Just platitude on top of platitude. Don't give any policy. Fake fucking Joe. It's so sad.
I look over at Pete during the debates, and I think, that's
It's fucking senile.
a bow, because he has such enormous character, such intellectual capacity, and such a commitment.
This is sad. This makes me feel fucked up.
To other people. And folks, I can't tell you how much it means to me that he would step up and endorse me, because I promise you, you're going to end up over your lifetime seeing a hell of a lot more of Pete than you are me. So, thank you.
And there was the quid pro quo. You did this for me, and I do something for you. Give him a little huggy. Look at Pete. Pete's got his hand on his dick right there. You see that shit? He's pulling his dick right there. Watch. Oh, he's got his dick. That was Pete. That's Joe Biden. That's sexual harassment right there. Watch Joe Biden. Let's get the evidence, right? Joe fucking Biden. Watch Joe Biden pull Pete Buttigieg's hand into his dick. Right? There's the hand. Turn the volume off because it's annoying. Watch the hand. There's the hand grab. There's the eye contact. Very sexy. And then watch Joe Biden pull Pete Buttigieg's hand into his penis. Right there. See, that's what it's really about. And he's saying, Pete is saying, Mr. VP, I could turn around if you like. I could turn around so you have somewhere to go. Joe likes that shit. So that's fucking. I don't even want to listen to this guy. So let's listen to Shaky Amy. It's such a disgrace. Here comes Amy Klobuchar, right?
All right. Wow.
Kissing the devil's.
Thank you. Unbelievable. Well, how great is it to be here in Dallas?
You notice that Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg don't look disappointed at all. Why? Because they got promised something. This is a deal, right? These people spent all these months and years fantasizing about running for president, and all of a sudden, in one night, it's all gone. It's powerful. The power of money. The power of quid pro quo. Because they have no seat. Buttigieg, these are losers. Mind you, they're losers. They lost. They are fucking losers, including Biden. Right now, the object is to repackage all of the losers and prop it up as a winner. That's what they're doing. That's what the Democrats are doing right now. They're telling you that you should pick the losers, the compilation of all the losers, because that's unity, instead of the guy who's out there actually winning, the guy who's inspiring people, the guy who's filling up stadiums as we speak. What kind of distorted worldview are these people living in?
Texas. And how great it is to be here with my family, John and Abigail, and with Vice President Biden. And how wonderful it is to be standing next to him on a stage when it isn't the debate stage. So I actually, as you all know, announced my campaign for president in the middle of a Minnesota blizzard, just so I could impress everyone in Texas, and in particular, everyone in Dallas. So we didn't let the snow stop us.
I can't watch it. It's pathetic. She goes on to talk about herself. On and on and on.
CIA stars of those that lost their lives in the line of duty decided he wasn't.
She doesn't know how to endorse. She got up there and basically talked for I don't know how many minutes about herself. before she actually turned it over to Biden.
Okay, I have a few other things to say.
A few other things to say, and she goes on for another 20 minutes. What a disgrace, man. What a disgrace. So, Marcus Conte reporting. That's all we got today. We'll watch the delegates come in. So here's the score so far. Bernie Sanders 60, Joe Biden 54. This is the delegate count. You need 1,991 to win the prize, more than half of the pledged delegates. 1991. 1990 is the tie. 1991, and you are the Democratic nominee. 771 superdelegates that can overturn. So if Biden is, 700 short, the superdelegates could come in and overturn it. But again, I think they're going to just go for the cheat. They're going to go for Biden getting the plurality of the vote. You get Bernie Sanders to say, yeah, plurality of the vote is the right way to go. Then fix the numbers so that Joe Biden gets the polarity of the vote. Right? He gets most of the vote. Whoever gets most of the votes should win. So now they'll rig the machines. I'm looking at the basic. I'm looking at these published polls, and they seem to indicate. Let me hit the refresh. Is there anything new? It seems to indicate that the fake polls are now leaning towards Biden overnight. That's what's most scary about this. So, at this time, Bernie Sanders has a 6-point delegate lead on Joe Biden going into Super Tuesday. There are 1,400 delegates on the line for tonight, from 155 all the way up to 1,500. It's about 1,350, or about 33% of the vote will come in tonight. All right. And that's the shit. And then we go on to March 10. We'll see big states, Michigan, 125. We'll see Washington State clearly in the camp of Bernie. North Dakota will probably go Bernie. Idaho, Democrats abroad will go Bernie. And they'll probably continue to cheat in the Deep South, Mississippi. And then March 17, we get Illinois, Arizona, Ohio. Right, Rust Belt states. Right? 1 week from now, Michigan. 2 weeks from now, Ohio, with a little Arizona and Illinois mixed in. And then we get April 7, we get Wisconsin. And April 28 is the other big prize, if we're still around. If we're still alive by April 28, Connecticut, Maryland, Delaware. Delaware will probably go for Biden because that's his home state. New York, 227, Pennsylvania, 186. All right, big states in April 28. So what the thinking was that this should have been over by tonight, or at the very latest March 17, when all the states have reported. By March 17, 2 weeks from now, 61% of the vote will have been in. So if Sanders if Sanders romps Biden and holds him out, it's an insurmountable lead. So anyway, that's enough from me doing all the talking today. As usual, what's going on in the chat? What's going on, mate? Thanks for not being a dick. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini, for your moderation. Thank you, Sterling Price, also for your moderation. If you got timed out, if you got stomped on, don't be a dick. Come back tomorrow. I'll let you out. But if you come here and all you want to do is troll, and all you want to do is voice your bullshit opinion, then you're going to get stomped on. You're going to get crushed. You're going to get crushed. So what else? What else is going on? Les Biden has his boom. That is crazy, isn't it? 771 superdelegates. Zolax, you're absolutely right. It's 20%. What a rig. I couldn't agree more. I mean, we know the rules. I've been saying the rules all along. California, the official count won't be official for 30 days or so. You have to watch out for senile Biden declaring victory for losing. Yeah, they did the same thing with Hillary Clinton. They had they dumped 2 million provisional ballots in California. They called the election for Hillary Clinton while the polls were still open, people still online voting. You don't do that. You wait till the polls close and then you call it. They didn't even wait. And so Bernie Sanders clearly won that shit, man. So I'll be back tonight. As I said, I'll be probably in a public place doing some public interviews, talking to the Bernie tried and true. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see. In the East Coast, we'll see. We'll probably see results as early as 9 p.m., 8 p.m., maybe even 7:30, 8 p.m. in North Carolina, Virginia. Vermont will go quick. Massachusetts will go quick. Maine will go quick. You might see Tennessee, Alabama, all of this on the East Coast. Tennessee is 1 hour is Central Time. So you might see Tennessee and Alabama. But I think for the most part, Utah, Colorado, you might have to wait for Texas. And they're going to make us wait for California. It's going to come late. It's going to come late in the night, man. So prepare for a late night. Prepare. Get you ready. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Hands in the air, hands in the air.
Peace, everybody.